y'all, it's Alexis. Today I'm going to be chatting with you guys about everything you need to do to prepare for postpartum. So if you've been around my channel for a little bit, you're going to know that I went into labor about 4 weeks early. So I was pretty proactive. Like, I had some ideas about what postpartum was going to look like, and I had purchased some things just in case, but I wasn't 100% prepared. So today I want to give you everything that I used, everything that I wish I had, everything that I needed and bought last minute. And this way it'll just kind of help you along the process. So anyway, I have, let's see, how many things on my list? I have 14 things. We're going to run through them. I've got notes here because you guys know I'm not good at remembering things off the top of my head. So anyway, I've got all the things here, so let's get into it. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is prepare for both a natural birth and a C-section. I went into this knowing that I wanted to have a natural unmedicated birth, but I honestly didn't even think about the fact that I could have a C-section. Surprisingly, I had already purchased one of these. These are it's a pregnancy belt. I think it's called a pregnancy belt. I forget what it's called. But anyway, I would use this when I was walking because when I was about 26 weeks pregnant, my round ligament pain was awful. So this was the only way I could continue walking and getting exercise. But this would have come in handy if I were to have a C-section. The other thing I purchased, just in case I had a C-section, was some high-waisted underwear to it would keep that incision in. But like I said, I didn't end up needing it, but I had it just in case. So make sure that you're thinking about that as well. Not that you have to have everything. There are things that obviously you can run out last minute and grab, but just having most things that you could possibly need after a C-section on hand is super important. Okay, the next thing that I definitely could not live without was ice. So the first 2 days, I actually didn't tear at all, so I was not that uncomfortable down there, but I had purchased these and I didn't end up, I used them once and I loved them, but I didn't need them more than once. So they're called perennial packs, hot and cold, so you can make these hot or cold. I'm gonna show you what they look like. So they're these long little pads. And they are just the perfect size, and they're not hard. Like when they freeze, they're not hard. They're awesome. So anyway, I would grab these. They have these little, let me see, I'll take one of these out. They have these little sleeves that go over, and I like that they're black because obviously you have a lot of bleeding and stuff. So if blood gets on it, it's totally fine. But these just go right in here, and then you can throw these in the wash. And they wash beautifully. So anyway, this was a super easy thing to purchase. Put that in there so it's not loud. And it's a little bit spendy, but it's worth it. I know a lot of my friends have recommended padsicles and stuff, making them, but for me, I found that having these, I could use them for my next child. So yeah, these are just awesome. These were great. All right, let's see. Next thing is, bathroom kit. So I'm going to show you what my bathroom kit kind of looked like. So I had this little basket in my bathroom, which actually I keep normally washcloths and stuff, but when I first came home, I ended up making it like a pads postpartum bathroom thing. So what you're going to realize after you have a baby is there are many parts to healing down there, and you need a lot of different things. And the first 2 days, I literally needed my husband's help to get everything situated before I could put the big pad on, because basically what they have you do is, so the pads are bigger than this. They are, I'll show you how big this one is, but this is this is the smaller one. So the other one is much longer. And what I would do is I would have one of these, and then I would put the Tux, oops, you can't see it because there's nothing there. The Tux pads on here. And sometimes if I was doing it every other, I would put one of those pads in between these, not pads, these are the ice things, and then put these on top. And so it's a whole system behind it. My tip of advice is get a bunch of these from the hospital. They have 2 different sizes they'll offer you. Get them both. Also get the underwear that they give, because they were a lifesaver. I know some people don't really like them. They'd rather wear Depends, but I'm going to be honest with you. This I thought was so much easier, and it was more comfortable. Not that I tried the Depends, but I just felt like it was really comfortable. So I would definitely ask. My hospital was very like, how many do you want? Do you want 100? I'm like, sure. So they just kind of like gave me a ton of stuff. Make sure you ask, they will give it to you. All right, so in this kit, like I said, I had the pads. I had a couple different sizes too. So you want to make sure you get different sizes beforehand, something I didn't actually think about, and I had to run out after. So I had, you know, that big size, the really big size, which I don't have anymore, and then that medium size, and then I had this size. And so your bleeding kind of gets lighter and lighter. And it's amazing for me how fast it happened. Like within probably a week, I really didn't have that much bleeding. But if I took a walk or something, then it would be a lot. And I wasn't really sure when to expect it. So these ones here are like your regular maxi pad. And then I ended up needing liners for, I would say, like maybe 3 weeks after. These were really nice and thin. So that way, like it was just there in case I was continually having bleeding. This way, it would just, you know, protect my underwear. But yeah, like I said, I like to keep everything in this little basket. The other thing you're going to want to include in here is some flushable wipes. Now, okay, everybody's going to be like, what? Are you crazy? But I'm going to tell you this because I want people to understand that it's not always worst case scenario. I did not need one of those Perry bottles. A lot of postpartum moms will tell you that you can't wipe down there. Right after I gave birth, I was able to wipe. I went to the bathroom and it didn't burn at all. And so I know that's not typical, but it does happen. So anyway, what I would recommend are these flushable wipes. I don't want to say I had a hemorrhoid because I thought I did, but either way, like that whole area down there does need something delicate. So I got some flushable wipes and those were a lifesaver. Also, you know, I didn't add this in the list, so I don't know what number this is even going to be, but make sure you get some really comfy toilet paper, because when you actually are able to start wiping, you're going to want something really comfy. All right, so next thing in here is this Dermoplast. I didn't use this actually because, like I said, I really wasn't itchy or burning, but all my friends recommended this, and the reason why I'm adding it in here is because I will keep this for the next time I have a baby, because I think it's just so important to have. Hear my baby girl crying? She's with her daddy. All right, next thing that I had in here was, this is called Thena H Solve, and basically it's a hemorrhoid cream or fissure. And so I just had this. I actually had purchased it right after because I wasn't sure, like I said, if I had a hemorrhoid or a fissure, like I wasn't sure. And within like a week, whatever it was totally gone. So I would just have like something else on hand. I'll link all this down below too, just so you can see it, or you can head over to the blog post and see it there as well. So anyway, that's going to be your whole little kit. The other thing that I would add just to like have afterwards is like a good deodorant. So I do all natural deodorant. I don't ever buy like the secret brand or whatever, but I ended up purchasing this because during labor I did not want to stink. And then I found for about a week after, I mean, I stunk so bad. And they say it's normal because baby's actually trying to like find you. So that's what the smell is. They're trying to find your breast. And that's how they find your breast. But I would say for at least a week, if not 2, I was using this. And I know that it's not like the best thing, but in that time, you just want to smell good. So anyway, that's what I have in here. Okay, so that's everything that's going to be in your bathroom kit. And like I said, you want to keep that in your bathroom so everything's ready to go. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to purchase is underwear. Like I said earlier, I had bought some really high-waisted underwear to keep like an incision in case I had a C-section, but I ended up also purchasing just some like really cheapo Fruit of the Loom underwear in a size larger. So normally I'd wear a small, and I actually purchased a medium. And that was like the best because then I was able to like throw them out after all the bleeding went away, but I wasn't worried about getting them on my underwear. So just getting like some cheapo underwear is really, really smart. The next thing is obviously nursing bras, and I have not found a nursing bra I love. If you have one that you like, make sure you comment below because I'm still like on the hunt for something I really truly enjoy. I have been using a lot of the Target nursing bras. They seem to work really well. It's just they're not cute. Like nursing bras are not cute. At least the ones I've purchased are not cute. But you do want something comfy, especially in the first days. You don't want anything restricting or like a push-up bra. because you could get like clogged ducts and stuff from that. And for me, I was so engorged for almost 12 weeks. I could only really wear like the sports bra, nursing bra things. So anyway, that's, I would keep that in mind. So I had to pause the video because baby girl was starving. But anyway, let's get back into it. So the next thing, what number are we on? Number 6 is getting a no spill water bottle. This was actually something that was recommended for my hospital bag, and just because like in the hospital, if they do allow you to have water, they don't want anything that could spill, and especially like if you're laying down or something, having something that is like a straw like this is great. So I ended up like using this postpartum when I was in the NICU, and then I just like fell in love with it, and I use it all the time. It's great because if I'm nursing and I knock it over, I don't have to worry about it spilling out even if the straw is up. So anyway, just something to think about is like investing in a water bottle. I'll link this one. It was a cheap one, so just something easy. I know a lot of people don't like plastic, which I'm not like a huge fan of plastic, but for this short time period, I'm just glad to have something, like I said, that doesn't spill and I can roll around and be totally fine. All right, so next thing is number 7, and you want to basically make food and get all your food ready before you have your baby. So a lot of people like to do like freezer meals and stuff like that, which I didn't end up doing. I more or less got little snacks that would help me postpartum that were healthy. So something that I absolutely love are Perfect bars. You can keep them in the fridge. They're super easy. They got a lot of protein, and you literally just like peel it and it's a protein bar. So that's it. I love them. So I would recommend like looking into some different things like that. I recently just did a video on foods for breastfeeding. So even if you don't plan on breastfeeding, there's definitely some snack ideas in there that would help you for like kind of figuring out some healthier things you can be eating after you give birth. Number 8 is nipple cream. So I could not live without this nipple cream. This is Earth Mama's nipple cream. Or nipple butter, sorry. It's amazing. So I'll give you a little story. So when I was in the NICU, I was super engorged, and once we finally got baby girl to latch on, which was great, I had been pumping for like almost a week, and my nipples were so sore, and I didn't even know what to do, because by the time she was getting on, it was like, wow, this really hurts. So I think it was 2 days I was feeling like that, and I had remembered that I'd had some of this, so I put it on, and I'm not kidding you, in a night it was so much better. So I definitely recommend this. I'll open it up and I'll show you the consistency, if you guys can see that. But it's really like creamy kind of. It almost reminds me of like a thinner Burt's Bees. Now the cool thing about this stuff is you don't just have to use it on your nipples. So recently, baby girl has drool rash going on, and I used some of this and it worked amazing. So this is not just like one-time use. This can be used for many things. Actually, I'll use this extra on my lips. It has like a weird flavor. I want to say almost like chocolate. So your baby may not love like the flavor of it, so you might want to wipe it off in between feedings. But yeah, this stuff is awesome. Everybody needs to have it. If you have a friend who is going to have a baby, I would definitely recommend giving them that as a gift, because it's something that they definitely would not think to put on the registry or buy for themselves. Okay, the next thing is nursing pads. So these nursing pads here, I'm gonna take them out. I have one pair left in here. But these are reusable ones. These are by Kindred Bravely. And I absolutely love these. Like, these were amazing. I could not have lived without them. I actually only had 1 pack, and I wish I had 2. I will definitely get 2 packs for my next baby, because I was so engorged. I was using these up until I would say she was 2.5 months old. So they're amazing. They're awesome. Have these on hand and learn about how to use them, because I don't know, I know it sounds silly, but like I was just like putting them in, and really I needed to be changing them in between almost every feed because of how much leakage was happening. And so just kind of knowing that stuff. So anyway, these are awesome. Look into that. All right, next thing is get yourself some loose fitting clothes that you are absolutely going to love and feel comfortable in. This is something I wish I had done more of. I really just was gonna wing it, and I don't know, under the impression, I guess, that I was gonna just fit into my pre-pregnancy stuff fairly quickly, and that does not happen. I mean, you are looking like, I would say, between 4 and 5 months pregnant for a good long while. So get some things that are comfortable for you and that can help you to transition. That's just something next time I will 100% do. I'll buy myself like 4 or 5 shirts that I can just kind of rotate through. And also, let's mention that you're getting breast milk like on your clothes all the time. So sometimes I'd have to change my clothes twice in a day. So just having different pieces that you can wear, especially if you're having friends and family come and visit, it's just really nice to have something that makes you feel comfortable and that you look cute in. Okay, number 11 is just a tip, and basically just prepare for the worst. So go into it preparing that you're going to have a tear, that you're going to, have a really hard recovery, because then I feel like when I didn't have that, I was like relieved and nothing was as bad as I thought it was going to be. So just kind of like prepare for the worst. Like I said, prepare to have a C-section, but you probably won't need the stuff for it, and at least you have it just in case, and your mind will already be there. I have definitely heard, the horror stories of postpartum, and by no means do I mean like, just sit in that, but just be prepared for that. This way you have everything you could possibly need. Prepare for hemorrhoids, prepare for, needing a peri bottle, all that stuff, and then if you don't need it, then it's awesome. Then it kind of feels like a really smooth recovery. Number 12 is learn how to use your breast pump. So I gave birth, and my daughter was in the hospital, like intensive care unit, not the NICU. It was like the hospital nursery area unit, and she was there for, I think it was just under 24 hours because I got, it was just under 24 hours because I got released within 24 hours. And they never told me that I needed to pump to start stimulation. So this was something I was not expecting and not preparing for. Now, obviously, not everybody's gonna have a baby that's gonna go in the NICU. But again, this is something you don't plan for, you don't know. So I had my breast pump at home, no idea I was gonna need it, and I had no idea how to use it. So once I went to the hospital, thank God they had like these awesome lactation specialists that, like, to this day, like, I can't thank them enough because they helped my breastfeeding journey so much. I would recommend, like, if you're in the hospital and you can talk to a lactation specialist, do it. It's the best thing you will ever do. But just getting to know your breast pump beforehand. Watch some YouTube videos. There's Carrie. I can't remember how to say her last name, but I always talk about her. I'll link her stuff below. She talks about how to use her breast pump. So I would go ahead and just get really familiar with that stuff. So that way, when the time comes, if you need to pump, you're prepared and you're ready. Number 13 is something that I think I kind of did, but didn't do well. So my husband and I needed to have more conversations about postpartum. What was this phase going to look like? And not that we can really prepare or know what we're going to go through and what it's going to look like, but I think just knowing that, saying to my husband, like, hey, I'm going to need probably a little more support. Would you be willing to make sure that, all the laundry's done, and maybe just, kind of outline things that would worry you or stress you for those first couple of weeks while you're getting adjusted and baby's getting adjusted, and just have those conversations. So like I said, I think it's important to really talk to your spouse and just get on the same page with everything. All right, and the last tip, and this is gonna sound silly, but when you're busy, you forget. Don't forget to take your pain meds very, very consistently. I really didn't feel like I needed my pain meds, so I decided not to take them. Well, then what happened was when I was engorged, I was so engorged from swelling that I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? I don't know what to do. So my lactation specialist came in and said, aren't you taking ibuprofen? And I said, well, no, I'm not in pain. And she's like, no, you need to be taking it. And I was like, well, my doctor said I didn't have to. And she's like, well, no, you should be taking it because now you're engorged and that's going to help with swelling and the whole thing. So just like if your midwife gives you any kind of pain medication and they tell you to take a certain amount, take that amount, and don't try to just, be like, oh, I don't really need it. Just take it for this set amount of time. Also, like postpartum contractions are a real thing. I didn't really think that was going to happen, but when you're breastfeeding, it does happen, especially when I was pumping and I didn't have baby girl on me. The contractions were the worst because I don't actually know why, but they were really bad then. When she was on me, maybe I was just more distracted. So yeah, just make sure you keep up on your pain medication. I think it's super important and something that, maybe we set a timer for, or we have our spouse remember, something we talk about, and have him remember. So anyway, that's it. That's going to wrap up everything that can help you to prepare for postpartum. I hope that this video helped you. If you have any recommendations or a question, maybe you're not sure, about something that I said, maybe it's confusing, make sure you comment below. Alrighty, y'all, I hope you have a good week and I'll see you next week.